Welcome to Are You Paying Attention?
Hello.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm David, and we're talking about Survivor today.
What is happening on that beach?
People are going crazy. It's
I think they all have sunstroke.
Yeah, it's getting to that point in the season, like 30 days in, when they all just start to lose it a little bit, and, all logic goes out the window.
As we feared, the gentlemen that were blindsided last week did not take this kindly,
Nope.
and they flat out decided on a sabotage.
Yeah, so they're hiding the machete, they're hiding the axe, they're pouring water on the fire.
They are pouring water on a fire.
Yeah.
That ruins it for everybody.
Everybody. Nobody's eating cooked food at this point.
It doesn't have heat, and now they have less water.
Yeah.
How does this make them feel better? I just don't get it.
They're just like petulant children.
Yeah,
they're just like smugly smirking at people like trying to find new ways to eat food. I thought everyone else was being like so inventive that
Right.
like Sydney grabs the saw and is like chopping the coconut open with saw. I'm like, oh my god, way to go, you guys. Find a new way to do
Right.
this. And that just pisses Scott off even more.
He is a child. He is so immature.
Yeah, it was like, oh, you're not on top. And he's like, oh, well, I'll show you if I'm not on top.
Yeah. First off, in the real world, I question that behavior. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
But on Survivor, you've just lost yourself the game.
Yeah,
No one in jury is going to vote for you.
No, you blew up your own social game in the biggest way possible.
When anyone else who gets blindsided or is down on the bottom, they connive,
Yes.
they weasel, and they get themselves back up there.
You find the people who are in the bottom of the other alliance and you turn them to your alliance, and then you can like switch the numbers pretty quickly. We've seen it happen so many times in the past.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Jason and Scott together, I mean, I have visions of them being bros for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Having family reunions together. Good, I'm glad that they've made a bestie for life.
Yeah.
But I feel like they just fuel each other on this game.
Yeah.
And it's just not helping.
It's not going to be a success story for them, I'm afraid.
No,
I mean, it
and
makes for
even
good,
if-
interesting TV,
Sure.
but...
And even if they last a while, I just feel like no one will ever vote for them.
No.
Something crazy would have to happen
Right.
to redeem
They would have
this.
to execute like an insanely amazing move
Yeah.
to overshadow this.
So after the sabotage happens, they go to a reward challenge.
Right, and they have to pair off into two teams. There's 9 people, so someone sits out, which is Joe. Then Jeff is like, well, if you guys can form your own teams, then we don't have to do like the schoolyard pick.
Right, they made the animosity clear, and he was like,
Yeah.
well, if it's already divided, go for that.
None of the girls really want to go with the guys, but Julia volunteers to go with the guys, which immediately sort of pisses off the other
Right,
girls.
we should say, so that leaves us 3 guys and 5 girls.
Uh-huh, right. So Julia goes over with the guys, and all the
Real
other
quick,
girls
I'll
are
go with
like,
the guys.
oh, well, obviously we can't trust Julia as far as we
Yes.
can throw her.
It looked bad. You gotta fake it. All the girls have to lean in and be
Yeah.
like, what are we gonna do? You gotta pretend like you're part of the
Yeah,
team.
and then you can sort of volunteer yourself like,
Yeah, you
guys,
can
like, I'll
back
just go ahead and
end
do
into it.
So that did not sit well with them. And then Joe has to pick a team that he thinks will win reward, and then if they actually win, he gets to enjoy reward with
Yes,
them.
he picks the girls, and then the guys win the reward
They
challenge.
do.
It started out because it was like you had to crisscross this rope,
Yeah.
and I thought, girls got this.
Right, they know how to braid.
Yeah, clumsy men, they're not
Yeah.
gonna get this. No, that didn't happen.
Didn't happen. So then they
Whatever.
get takeout Chinese, they go back to camp, they're all enjoying their...
And you just feel about people who are acting horrible.
Yeah.
And now they get to enjoy
and
Chinese
now they get a
food.
reward. Great.
Yeah.
So now they're back eating and sort of plotting, and Julia's saying like, I'm with you guys, yada yada. She's starting to play both sides
She
immediately.
is 100% playing both sides not well.
Yep.
It's so blatant. It's so obvious to Sydney, Aubrey.
Yeah.
It's clear.
Mhm.
Who's
Not
it
obvious.
not clear to?
Debbie. Not obvious to Debbie.
Debbie, I don't know what delusional world she's living
Yeah.
in.
She's like, I 100% trust Julia. We have her. Don't worry about it.
She's like, I'm proud of her for going to get that Chinese food, that
Yeah.
reward. She deserves it. You're a lovely mother. I would love
Yeah.
for you to be so proud of me as well.
yeah.
But
Thank
this
you
is
for
a
your
game.
unconditional support.
Yeah. Hello. And Aubrey had to flat out say, like, Debbie, I'm hearing you, but can you please? We have to get rid of Julia. We
Yep.
can't trust her. And even with the pleading, Debbie was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Not gonna
Debbie's
happen.
like, I hear your gut, but
Yep.
there's no way I'm voting out Julia.
Right.
No way.
So that sets us up for the immunity challenge.
They have to put blocks in a row like dominoes, and then they have to bang a gong at the end,
But
right?
you have, yes, and you have to step into a lattice
very carefully.
So if you knock this lattice, your blocks are gonna fall over.
Yeah.
So it's tailor-made for a female.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And Michelle gets a very like early lead.
Yeah.
She's just nailing it.
Yeah.
Most people are knocking it over, even Sydney.
But when Michelle finally goes, she doesn't make it. She gets down to the last few and they just sort of fall off and it doesn't hit the gong.
If they don't fall exactly like dominoes, then you have to start over.
And I think Debbie also tried it and she didn't get it. And then finally at the end, Julia was, you know, slow and steady, very patient, and she knocked it down perfectly.
She got it.
Won immunity, which was huge, I think. I don't think we'll ever see Julia win another individual immunity.
No, I feel like this was the one opportunity for her to win.
Yep.
And I don't even know if she realized how close to being voted out she was.
Right.
That totally saved her butt.
So then Aubrey's like, well, now our plan to get Julia out is totally out the window.
Yeah. So they all get back to the beach.
Yes.
And immediately, in front of all the females, including Julia and Joe, because Joe's on their side.
Right.
She just lays out her plan.
Yep.
You know, not discussing, but laying out, this is what we're going to do.
Splitting the votes because they're afraid but actually, some of the girls, like Aubrey and Sydney, were afraid that the boys had idols, but then I think, wasn't it Debbie?
Sydney knows.
Yeah, but Debbie was like, there's no way any of them have idols.
Yeah.
But Sydney knows they have
Sydney
idols.
knows, and Michelle knows that Ty has one. She was there for that conversation. So a couple of them have information, but Debbie is just railroading the situation, giving all of their secrets away to Julia, which is so dangerous.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
And so that's really what, like, Sydney and Aubrey were like in a panic as Debbie's talking.
Yeah.
And so as soon as they could disperse, Sydney and Aubrey were like, ahoo!
Yeah.
Wahaha!
Debbie's gotta go. She's blowing up our game. And sure enough, Julia goes around and tells Scott immediately, well, they're going between Scott and Jason.
So this is what they're gonna do. All of their suspicions are correct, obviously. Julia is not loyal to this group. But it was so interesting, to me at least, that they were willing to vote Debbie out. Like, that was what Sydney and Aubrey immediately were like, we gotta get rid of Debbie.
Yeah.
We got, like, Debbie's not she doesn't get it.
She's a wild card, we can't control her, she doesn't listen to common sense.
Which I thought was like jumping from A to Z. I was like, well, what?
What?
I feel like we could do some other things in the middle here.
Yeah, right.
But they went to Michelle and Julia. Well, they went to Joe. Joe was like, of course not. I'm not voting Debbie out.
Because Joe's so loyal. You know, you respect that.
I hear you, Joe.
So he did not want to vote Debbie, but they convinced Michelle and they shake with Julia. We're getting out Debbie, right? Who knows if you can trust that?
Right.
But
Julia's like, Sydney was open. She was like, I don't know if you're with us or them. And Michelle was like, she's with us. She's with us. And Julia's like, I'm absolutely with you.
Right.
And she was like, well, we're voting out Debbie. And they were like, great, totally on board.
Yeah.
So at this point, you don't know what the heck Julia's doing.
And Julia's saying Sydney's a threat. Obviously, I want her out of the game because the guys are voting Sydney, right?
That's what they tell Julia to do.
Yeah. And she's saying, well, obviously I want Sydney out because she's a huge threat. But Debbie's also someone I want out down the line. So, you know, I have to make up my mind what I'm going to do. But I had no idea what she was going to do going into Tribal.
This Tribal.
Oh my God.
What?
It was a circus.
What? What was that?
It was so nuts.
Okay, so they're talking.
Yep.
He's pulling out the info from them as usual.
Pretty normal. And I think it sort of comes out that Julia is in the middle.
Yes.
And Michelle is saying, well, you know, tonight's an opportunity for her to show where her loyalties lie.
Right. Somehow...
I think Jeff brings up idols again. He's like, are there idols in play? You know, Ty, last week you were talking about the super idol. So Jeff sort of is like coaxing this out of them. And then Jason raises his hand and he's like, well, Jeff, why don't we tell you what's going to happen?
Yes!
So he's like, Ty has an idol and I have an idol.
And they pull them out of their pockets.
Yeah.
And who was it? Was like, can I see that? Was it Julie or
Aubrey, I think, asked
to see it.
let
me see that.
Yeah.
They're just like throwing their idols around and making a show about it.
Not hidden idols anymore.
And then Jason is like, so what's going to happen is Ty's got an idol, I've got an idol, and Scott and I are going to do...
Rochambeau.
Yeah, I don't know that word. We're just gonna see who's gonna get this idol.
Yep. And then, you know, whatever our fate is, great.
The jury's mouth is like, the other people are like, what is happening?
And then everybody starts whispering on the other side, right? They're like whispering across original plan, original plan. And you don't know, but I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means. Everyone's whispering and telling each other, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this literally comes down to Julia.
Yep.
Because I don't know how these guys are gonna actually leave.
Yep.
There's no way to get them out. We know that that's either gonna come down to Sydney Or Debbie.
Yeah, because you know 3 girls are voting for Debbie, and you know the 3 guys are voting for Sydney, and then Julia has that vote to go either way.
And you could see on Julia's face, she now doesn't know what to do.
Right, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So then they vote. Before they read off the votes, Jason and Scott do their rock, paper, scissors. Yes. Whoever wins it has it, and then they're like, oh, but why don't we just give it to Ty? And then they hand it over to Ty as if to say, like, now we're making a super idol, and whoever you voted out, we're gonna save them.
Yeah.
Jeff tallies the votes. Debbie is out.
The guys didn't know about the Debbie plan.
Nope. No, the guys were very much like, wait, what?
They're
really?
like, wait, why aren't our names coming up?
Yeah. I don't know how those guys are gonna be sent home. They just have to somehow burn the idol,
I think. They have to burn the idol.
But then that means I think one of that group is gonna go home.
How does it work with the super idol? Like, I wonder is it just in Ty's hands now?
I think so.
Or could Jason take it back, his part back?
I mean, I don't know how official it is to say, like, I'm handing this over to Ty, and then Ty says, I accept this idol. To me, that means this is now Ty's super idol, and he can play it however he wants.
Yeah, if that's the case, you have to keep Ty in your pocket.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, like, we didn't touch on the fact Ty turned evil in this episode.
Yeah.
It was so odd that he would partner with these guys that are behaving badly, and then he, like, participated. Like, he poured water on the fire one night.
Yeah.
Like, he just kept it going.
Yep.
Is he gonna stay like that?
I don't know.
But if he, for some reason, doesn't stay like that, does he now have the super idol and Jason and Scott have nothing?
Yeah, I hope so. Oh my goodness, because there's nothing I want more than to see Jason and Scott go home.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
If the girls could get Ty over and they vote for Jason or Scott, the guys think Ty's gonna use it, but then Ty doesn't.
Yeah. That would be a good
That would be an amazing surprise.
Yeah.
Let's vote for that.
Yeah, please make that happen.
Our brainiest moment, I think, goes to Julia.
Agreed.
She played both sides fairly poorly.
Yep.
Most of the episode.
Yeah.
But her decision to vote Debbie out still allows her to play the middle.
Now those girls trust her because they think, great, she went with us and she voted Debbie out.
Yep.
And the guys trust her because she didn't vote for one of the guys.
Right.
So she can say, like, hey guys, I just had to make the girls feel like I was in with them. Right. But I'm still with you, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So she can continue
she can
to play
that off. That was pretty darn smart of her.
Yeah. Now our brawniest moment also goes to Julia winning that individual immunity challenge.
Yes.
Like we said, I don't think she'll ever win one again.
That was it. And it was at the perfect time.
Yeah.
Now we're kind of torn on our beautiful moment.
Right.
On one hand, the guys doing that show of their idols was beautiful in the game way.
Right.
Because it really did dictate and told people, be careful who you vote for, because we've got some power.
Yeah.
I didn't personally enjoy it or think it was beautiful, so it's a tough decision.
Yeah, but it was sort of an iconic Survivor moment. It's going to be a tribal that people remember, I think, for a while.
Right,
because of that show that they put on. On the other hand, we thought it was beautiful for Joe to side with the girls in the reward challenge. I think the guys was a much safer bet to go with them to get reward.
Yeah, if you wanted the reward, you would have, you would have tried to be like, who do I think is going to actually win? But he didn't hesitate.
Nope.
He wasn't worried about the reward.
Yep.
He was just flat out saying who his loyalty was with.
Yeah, so that was really beautiful too.
It was.
Yeah.
That's more beauty I can get along with.
Yeah.
Get on board with. I don't know where we go from here.
Yeah.
I don't know how, whatever. Do the girls start over because they won less? Do they get Ty over?
I think
do those guys just calm down, fake friendly or whatever?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
Is Ty gonna come to his senses? I don't think I don't think his heart is evil.
No, right? Come on, Ty.
Yeah.
We believe in you, Ty.
Yeah.
If Caleb was still there, it'd be a different story.
That's right.
Let us know what you guys think.
And click subscribe and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.